Broncos country, what is going on? Pete Prisco gave George Payton massive props for his 2021 draft class. I'm wanting to break it down, get your thoughts on it. Is he deserving of that A+ grade? Y'all let me know. Before we get started, smash that like and subscribe. And of course, let me know your thoughts on this draft class in the comments. And shout out, guys, again, trying to improve the channel. None of this happens without your support. Hopefully you guys like some of the cool stuff I got in the background now. So, hey, let's go ahead and get started. Let's break this down. You might wonder, outside of Patrick Surtan, who were some of the guys that George Payton drafted? This is credit to SI, Mile High Huddle. Spelled this out fantastically here with what the 2021 draft class looked like. Again, 10 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm a big proponent of having more shots, taking as many shots in the draft as you can, because it can be kind of a crapshoot sometimes, right? Of course, there's more that goes into it than just picking randomly and hoping that it works out. But 2021 for George Payton, I think, has by far been his best draft class to date. And he's been somebody that I have had a lot of criticism for, right? I do think that the synergy working relationship with Sean Payton actually could become something really, really good. But while 22 and 23, those draft classes still have a lot of question marks, we can look at 2021 in hindsight and understand that he actually did a very, very good job. Now, taking a look at Patrick Surtan, we already know that he's a beast, right? I picked him 9th overall. I was pissed that he didn't draft Justin Fields, but looking in retrospect, that was probably the right decision, although he did kind of make the same mistake bringing in a player with similar weaknesses in their game, like Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. But in terms of making the right pick here, Patrick Surtan, he's absolutely killed it. All-pro selection for us. I hope that he retires as a Bronco, and a guy that I think, team captain, franchise guy, his first pick to be somebody like that, just like John Elway's first pick, I believe, right, was Von Miller. Killed it. Future Ring of Famer, no doubt. Now, when we go ahead to Javonte Williams, this is interesting because he has been a starter for our team. Granted, you can't predict injury, and he hasn't exactly come back from injury looking great. Now he has this year to redeem himself. Is it a big deal that if you get a starting caliber running back in round 2 and you're not re-signing him? And not so much. I think that this is one, while we have technically drafted a starting running back for us at round 2, pick 35. I think that this was a little bit, I don't know. This one was kind of a miss because I don't think that he's lived up to being one of those top running backs off the draft board his year. Although that class actually hasn't turned out to be very good. Like Najee Harris, right, was the first pick that year at running back. But we get into some other hits that he's had. Let's talk about Quinn Meinerz. This was a gem, drafting him out of Division III Wisconsin Whitewater, okay? Quinn Meinerz was a PFF All-Pro last year, somebody that's going to be one of the highest paid guards, if not the highest paid guard in the NFL coming up soon. He's another cornerstone for this team. So you have Patrick Surtan, a building block that's a cornerstone for the franchise. You got Quinn Meinerz, who is one as well. And then you're bringing in a handful of other starting level players or complementary players that really did play well. You might ask, okay, who are some of those other guys? I think Caden Sterns, although he's been injured, round 5 selection, 153 overall from the University of Texas. He's somebody, again, didn't play last year due to injury, but graded out very well in coverage in 2022. We saw him take that step a couple seasons ago and played very, very well. The biggest thing for him is staying healthy. But when you get a potential starter in the 5th round, that's something that you cannot take for granted. And you got to give George Payton his props with, right? And granted, this was Vic Fangio's final year as well. And I think Vic Fangio kind of had a pretty good idea of guys that would end up being good players on the defensive end as well, because we've also seen late round pick, 7th round draft pick, Jonathan Cooper develop into like a starting edge for us, a guy that plays just all around consistent ball really well. Graded out well this past year in both the run defense and the pass rush. 9 sacks. Hopefully this year we can see him take another step and work his way to a nice contract extension with the Broncos. That's my hope. But a guy who's a solid player. Now, not necessarily an elite edge player, but a very good, in my opinion, a starting caliber player or a very high-end rotational edge for the Broncos. And when you're getting that at selection 240, wow, that's great stuff. Baron Browning, a guy also from Ohio State, just like Jonathan Cooper, round 3, has been a starter rotational guy for us. Again, health has been another thing with him, but in round 3, that's what you would like to see these guys become at a minimum. Now, has he surpassed that, such as Justin Simmons being a round 3 guy that developed into an all-pro? No, but he's somebody I think that's very talented. It's just, again, his health. And so those were the hits. Again, when you got 10 picks, the fact that you can get 2 franchise cornerstones and then like 1, 2, 3, 4 other guys that are potential starting players for you, that has to be an A+ draft, no doubt. And again, that's 6 out of 10. There are guys that didn't really work out. Jamar Johnson from Indiana, Kerry Vincent Jr., Marquise Spencer from Mississippi State, Seth Williams from Alabama, teammate of Bo Nix, funny enough. But, you're not going to shoot 10 for 10 in the NFL draft. And I think that this was pretty cool to go back and take a look, because George Payton's been somebody, again, that I've kind of been ultra critical of, more so with trades. And then, again, we'll see how picks like Riley Moss and some of these other guys like Drew Sanders turn out to be. Can Awazarike redeem himself after having a year off from being suspended for gambling issues, right? If these guys can come back and have impact players, I think that George Payton is going to start to be regarded a little bit more highly, not only from Broncos country, but in the NFL for what he can do. Again, when you make some of those trades for Russell Wilson, so sometimes, man, people are going to look at that more so than the draft picks that you're making. But I think that George Payton seems to have a good synergy with what's going on with Sean Payton. And I hope, for the sake of the franchise, that we see continuity. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers model, have continuity, have a shared vision. Again, I think that George Payton is one of these guys that can do a very good job supporting Sean Payton and seeing the vision through, maybe rather than being the vision setter, which is kind of more so what he was like, in my opinion, when Nate Hackett was here. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Appreciate you guys as always. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Go Broncos.